So hey guys, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a series on reloading. I'm not an expert on reloading, but I started doing this about 4 or 5 years ago, and I found during the off season it's just something that I really enjoy to do. So I thought maybe you guys might get something out of this. So by no means do I know everything when it comes to reloading. I'm kind of learn as I'm going, but these are some techniques that I found that work really well for me. Thought I'd share it with you. So I'm going to do I guess you could say a series. There'll be different videos that will get released, kind of walking through the various steps of reloading. I'll start tonight with annealing. So it may be a familiar term to some of you out there. If you guys are doing reloading today, you may be familiar with it. If you're not, annealing basically is taking your brass and heating it up to a certain degree, which then softens it so that it allows you to get more usage out of the brass, if you will, over time. Also, there's a lot of debate, but I will tell you, I find that it definitely improves accuracy as well. So there's a million things on the internet. You can go research it, but I'll walk you through the steps that I have found that work well for me on how to anneal the brass. Now, again, you can go research it. You'll find probably 10,000 different ways to do it online. But for me, this works well. It's cost effective. Pretty simple process to do, but there's a couple steps that I would highly recommend that you do. So we'll kick things off with the annealing. The first thing you're going to want to do is when you're annealing your brass, you're actually going to want to invest in what they call temperlac. So for those that aren't familiar with it, there's temperlac, and it's in different degrees. This one's 750 degrees. So basically what this does is I will take this out. It's got a little paintbrush in here, as you can see right there. And I will go through each one of my cases, and I'm going to mark just a dab of it or a swatch of it inside the case neck. And I'm going to go through and do this on each one of them. What that allows me to do then is, I'm going to let that dry. What that allows me to do though is when I actually go through the annealing process, that's going to be my heat indicator as to when I need to stop the annealing process. So we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But I'm going to go through, do this on each one of them, let it dry, and then we will actually do some process of annealing the brass. Hey, the other thing I would recommend that you pick up too, if you're going to get into this, I would also recommend picking up some of the temperlac. They call it green label thinner, which is designed specifically for temperlac. So what's going to happen over time, it just takes a tiny bit of this stuff. You're going to do this, you're going to come back months later, do it again. This starts to get hard. So you can just put a little bit of that thinner inside here, shake it up real good, and then it'll just last you for years. I think I've had this for almost 5 years. So it's a great product. It's a must-have when you're doing annealing so that you don't over anneal the brass.